Hi there, welcome to VCode's 100 Days of Coding Challenge. Today is day 26 and let's see the question number 1. So the question is, write a Java program that calculates the area of rectangle and a circle using function overloading. You should create two separate functions, one for calculating the area of rectangle and another for calculating the area of circle. So both the functions should be named as calculate area and should accept different sets of parameters. So function overloading is a new concept. So that is a concept inside the object-oriented programming in Java. So let us see what is function overloading in this video. So the function description is given that the return type must be double, calculate area is the name, and double length and double width are parameters for the rectangle function, and for the circle the method name is the same, the return type is double, and the input parameter is also different. So these are the function descriptions. So the input format is the same, right? So if the input is given to us as 5 and 4, then the area of rectangle is calculated, which is 20. And if the input given is 3, that is only the radius, then we have got this value, which is the area of circle. So let's find out what is method overloading and how do we implement into this question. So method overloading in Java is a feature in Java where in same class we have two different methods with the same name but different parameters. So let me tell you an example. So for example, you want to calculate the area of square, but you want to give, first time you want to give the input as an integer. So let me write the function which is area of square. So let me name it as area. So first time you want to give the input parameter as an integer, and in the second time you want to give the input parameter as the double. So in the first function you will give an input parameter of an integer and you will write some function here. So you will write the code here in the curly braces. And in the next function you will give the input parameter as double. So this is a double and some number, and here you will give what task to perform. So here you can see we have the same name for both the functions. What is different here is we have different input types, that is the input parameters. So the data type of the input parameter for one is integer and for the other one is double. And according to the user, so whatever function is called in the main method, so if the function called in the main method is like area of 5, so if the method called in the main method is area of 5, so what is 5? 5 is an integer, right? So what method will be called? So in that case this method would be called. So if the some input given is 5.2, then this method would be called. So according to the input parameter, the method call would be different. So who will do that? So Java compiler will automatically detect what type of parameter is given here, and according to that method would be called. So why overloading is required? So method overloading. So what are the benefits of it? So using this method overloading, we can increase the readability of the program. That is, it will also make the work of the programmers easier to call certain function. So what is the task? So we are performing the same task in both of them, but just the input parameters are different, right? So for that you can't name this as area 1 and area 2. So these both are the same task. So it will make the work of the programmers very easy. So if the input type he is giving some other type also, if he just calls the area method, that particular method would be performed. Simple. So this is the benefit of using the method overload. Also the point to remember is there is also that the two types of overloading are we can either change the data type of the method. So that is, in this case, in this example, so in this whole example, we have changed the data type of the method, that is the input parameters. So that is one way of doing. So this is the first way of doing this. And there is another way to do, which is changing the number of parameters. So here we have only one parameter in both. So we can have a function called A, and I can have two parameters into that. So let us say A and B input parameters, and the same function A with only one parameters. So this is the second type where only a number of parameters differ. So it can be two types, but you should also remember the point that not changing that is definitely the type of parameter or the number of parameters should differ, and not only changing the return type would lead to overloading. So that is not overloading. In that case, we would get an error. So you should remember to change either data type or the input parameters data type or the number of parameters. So if you don't change any of these, then the method overloading won't work. So let's use this concept of method overloading and try to do the question given today. So let me open the Java file. So I have created areas.java. So in the main method, so let me call two methods, which is calculate area. So the methods have the same name. So calculate area, and the input parameter for one I will give is, so what sample input we got. So one is 5.0 and 4.0. So 5.0 and 4.0, and in the next line I will call the same method but with different parameters, input parameters. So here I have got the radius as 3.0. So let me give 3.0. So now I'm going to create static methods because I haven't used any object to call a method. So static, the return type is double as given in the question. So calculate area, and here I'm going to write double. So what was the first parameter here? It was length. So length, and so that will be comma, and double height. So what should be returned? So return area. So I would create a variable called double area, and what is the area here? So that is length into height, and I have returned that area. So now I will create another method with same name and different parameters. So calculate area of double, what is that? Radius. And here I have to return the area. So let me create same variable again and return here what is the area of circle. It is pi r square. So here I am going to use the already defined constant in Java in the math class. And okay, let us remove this. I have directly calculated the area. Here it would be breadth. Here it would be breadth. So that's it. So you can see here I have already got the notation that this is the length and this is the breadth and this is the radius, because there is only one input parameter. So like this, the compiler notices the changes in the input parameters. So now let's run the file and check if you are getting correct answers. So let me clear this. Now javac areas.java, and now Java areas. So you can observe here we have got 20.0 for the first, which is the area of rectangle, and for the area of circle we have got the value, which is the area of circle. So this is how we do method overloading in Java. I hope you all understood this. So that's it for this video. Do follow the 100 Days of Coding Challenge by VCode. Thank you for watching.